Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you have a nice moment while staying at home. Today, I'm going to talking about our revised modal verb and British English and American English. Look at the board. Student here will study British and American English. Then they will study, or we will study modal verb first. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, let's talk first about British and American English. Today we are going to revise the yesterday's lesson. Okay, let's just only look at the board. Look at the first person, and he talked about himself in American English. I will determine the words in American English. Let's read together. I work a lot during the week. That's why I love weekend, okay? So much, weekend, so much. On the weekend, Americans say on the weekend, but British don't say on the weekend. They say at the weekend. They change the preposition from on to at. And all of them, remember guys, all of them are similar, and all of them are correct. I try to do so little so possible. Sometimes I go downtown. Downtown is the city center in British English. City center, but in American they say, or they called it downtown, and hang out with my friend. We usually eat means eat in a rush, okay, a sandwich and fries. French fries in American, it's called chips in British language. Okay, but see, it's here fries, okay? At local diner. Diner is the person, or is the, sorry, not the person, is the shop where you can eat your dinner, okay? So we can say also diner or restaurant. It's also cafeteria or restaurant in British English, okay? I prefer to stay home to watch my favorite TV program. There is a difference, but not in the whole word, but it's in the spelling. Look at favorite. There is U between O and R, but here in American English they don't use U between O and R. And also TV programs. In American English, they write one M only, but in British English, they duplicate M and put E at end with S, okay? Leaving my apartment if I can. Apartment, it's flat. In America, they say apartment, but in British English, it is flat. Okay, let's go to another one. He said, last week, I did the stupidest thing, the very worst thing he did. I lost my cell phone. Cell phone, it's in American language, but in British language, it's mobile phone. It was a nice day, so I decided to walk home from work rather than take subway. Subway, it's a train coming underneath, or driven underneath. Subway is underground. As I said, It's a train can transfer people from one place to another place, but it's underneath. I was almost home when I realized there is a spelling differences here, a change here. We can say realize. In British English they use S, but in American English they use Z. That my phone was gone. I went to gas station. Gas station in America, but in British we can say petrol station. To use the pay phone, and I called my cell phone, as I told you before, to see if someone would answer. A man picked up the phone. He said he had found my phone in the sidewalk. Sidewalk is that side next to the street, and it's wider. It's wide enough to allow people to walk on that side. So its name is sidewalk. It's only for walk, only for walking. It's in British language they say pavement, okay? In front of local drug store, it's pharmacy. In America they say drugstore, in British they say pharmacy or chemist. I guess anyway, I'm going to be careful from now on. The last one is Tom. Tom 3 is your typical high school students. High school, it's in America. In America you can say high school, but in British language you must say secondary school. Very busy schedule. He's on his school soccer team. He is on his school soccer team. So he is one of the player who play in the team. Okay. So we can say instead of on, we can say in. He is in his school's soccer team, but not soccer. We can say football team. Okay. Soccer in America, football in English. And he loves going out with his friend. They usually go to the mall and play game. Game. We can say match. Match in British English, game in American English. Of soccer, also football here together. He got good grades. Grades in American English, and we can use marks in British English. The grade and mark is, for example, when I talk about your grade in English language subject. What's your grade? You said, for example, I got 19, 20, 21 from 30. So it's okay. This is your grade. Especially history and English, but he hates math. Math in America they say math, but in English, in British English they say maths. Okay. He also works part-time in evening. He doesn't have soccer, as I told you. Practice. In America they say see. There is a difference in spelling only. The differ is in spelling only. Okay, he is going to start college. College, it's university. College in America, university in Britain. In the fall. Okay, in the fall. He said he's going to start college. So the studying starts in the fall. So it's in the autumn. Okay, it's in the autumn. It's in the autumn is the 3 months coming after, directly after the summer, okay? After the holiday and after the summer. And he wants to major in art history. Major is specialize. Major is when I say my major in university is English language. So in British they say specialize. For differences between British and American English spelling, words, phrases, and grammar usage, go to appendix II. Okay? This is an example. Please look at the board with me. Autumn, fall, biscuit, cookies. It's same. It's almost same. Okay? And in the difference in usage by the places. Block of flat apartment building. And also we have cash point ATM when you want cash. Also we have here leisure center is sports center or like that. Lifts to go from one floor to another floor, you can say elevator in America. Mark, I told you, great. Do you know truck? Truck. Okay, this is truck in America. You can say lorry in English, in British English. And this is also another word. Sorry. Okay, mobile phone, cell phone, motorbike, motorcycle, motorway, highway, etc. Okay. And in spelling there is a quite different, like the dialogue here, dialogue they add U, color they add U between R and O, and in American English they don't use U at all between O and R, O and R, and here O and R, and here O and R. They don't use U after that. And also I told you practice in English, British English is S, but in American English they use C. Organize also Z and C, S, etc. Okay? This is the grammar and usage. For example, I told you before yesterday, in British English they start with the day and after that month, but in American English they start with the month and then day. Look at the born. This is the past participle of the verb born, okay? The past participle of the verb born. In American English they put ed at the end, it's a regular verb, and in British English they put at at the end. It's irregular verb. Look here, be in hospital, be in the hospital, go to hospital, go to the hospital. Okay. With the modal verb, yesterday we talked briefly about modal verb. In the modal verb, we use modal verb for the ability, for the obligation and necessity, for the permission, request, prohibition, advice and opinion, absence of obligation. I will start for the ability. Ability that I use for the ability can. Okay, that, for example, I will say, I can write. This is I am able to. You can use also able to. I can write. I can drive. I can lift heavy things. I can do certain things. Okay, so this measure my ability. Okay, and in the past, I can say, could, or I can use could. With the present can and with the past could. Okay? After that, obligation and necessity. In obligation and necessity, that's something you must do. You have to do. Okay? This is obligation. Okay? For example, you as a student, okay, must come to school at 7 o'clock or have to come to school at 7 o'clock. Okay, you must do that, you should do that. Okay, so we can use here must for personal obligation and have to for the law or the outer obligation, and need to for the necessity. Okay, with the past we can use had to instead of all of them. In the past we can use had to instead of all of them. In the permission, when you want something from your friend, from another one, and you want his permit, and you want to permit him to take this to take this thing, so you need to use can, could, and might, and here we can say may. For example, when you want your friend's pen, you can say, can you give me your pen, please? Okay, you can use can, but it's more polite to use could and may and etc. Could I take your pen, please? Could I take your book, please? This is more polite with could. Request, we can use may, can, could, and will, and would. I'm sorry, there is a difference between request and permission, but it's a little bit quite difference. I talked about the request, but no problem. In permission, I will explain it again with the example. And also I can use it for advice and opinion. Should and had better. And had better is more stronger. Had better is more stronger. And also we can use ought to. With the prohibition, that means not. That means not. No. Prohibition, that means no. No smoking in the airplane. No. It's never. Okay? You can use must not or what? Can't. Must not or can't. Lastly, I have absence of obligation. Absence of obligation, it's not necessary. So that it's not necessary. We can say use needn't or don't need or what? Don't have to. Don't have to. Okay? In the example here, you can see, will you help me with the washing up? This is what? Requests. Second one, I am sorry, sir, but you can't smoke here. Can't. That means prohibition. Okay. I think you ought to apologize. Ought to. This is advice or opinion. He tell his friend to apologize to you, his sister. Okay? Because he did bad behavior. After that, I could swim when I was 4 years old. This is the ability. Because he was 4 years old, he's still a child. I really have to study hard. I really have to study hard for my math exam. This is obligation. This is obligation. He used have to. Why? Because this math exam or this obligation is coming by law. It's not a personal obligation. You don't have to. Don't have to. Okay, too short. I am not deaf. Deaf is the person who can't hear anymore. Okay, and he is angry for that. There is absence of obligation. Excuse me, may I use your pen? As I told you before, this is request. And sorry, I make a complex with the permission and request. Look at this notes. Could you express general ability in the past? Was, were, able to. As I told you before, I can use I can do something. I can eat. I can write. And I can use also I am able to eat. I am able to write. Okay? Or he is able. Or I was. Or he was able to express ability in the particular situation in the past. Might and may and could are more formal. More formal, I saw in where than can in use of asking for permission. This is the permission. Could, may, might is more formal. You can use it with your manager. You can use it with the person, people you don't know very well. But can, you can use it with your family, friends, anyone else. Okay? The would and could and are more formal than will. Here in request. If you want to request something formally, you can use could and would. Could and would. Okay? Had better is stronger than should and ought to. Here in advice, you can use should. You can say tell your friend, you should wash your hand. You should stay at home. But this is had better is more stronger. That means you had better, guys, all of you, stay home and wash your hands, okay? Must express obligation coming from how the speaker feels. Okay, this is must in obligation, it's personal. It's feel obligation, it's personal obligation. While have to express obligation coming from the external factors by the law. Okay, for example, when we say all of you, take this example, you have to stay home and wash your hands. This is obligation is coming from the Ministry of Health. It's not from me. Okay? Grammar reference, it's very important to see grammar reference page 93 and 94. I have slide here. I want to show you how to make or how to contrast, how to build your sentence in with the modal verbs. We use in modal verb, we use subject and modal verb and verb in base form. In base form, don't forget this one. We can use I, you as a subject, or you can use Mr. Smith, or you can use Mrs. Spakey, etc. Any name, okay? You, they, we, he, she, it. You can use can or could, would, or to, should, etc. And here the verb in the base form. Work, drink, drive, etc. Okay? Last thing, take some, in modal verbs, this is the explanation about the modal verbs, more details about modal verbs. Where can you use modal verbs? Please, all of you, don't forget to visit the grammar preference in the in the end of your book. I think it's in the page 92, 93. There is a tables talking about the modal verb and where can you use this modal verb. This is ability in present or future, can be able to. Could, ability in the past, as I told you before, okay? And also give you an example about every usage, okay? Here for the permission, we said informal we can use can, but formal we can use could and may and might. This is fast revision before we end the class. And in requests, I told you can and will, you can use it with your friend, with your family as informal, But could, may and would, it's polite, it's more polite to use and formal to use it with the other people who you don't know very well. Okay, also in advice, we have had better here. I told you it's give the strong advice. It gives the strong advice and should to also, but not like had better in giving strong advice. Okay, this is the obligation and necessity. As I told you, this is must use when the obligation coming from the person or the person feeling, describe the person feeling. Here, this is internal obligation, as I said, and this is the usage. You can read it. Have to also, I told you, it's external. It's not by my from my obligation. It's external obligation. And need for necessity, and had to, obligation in the past. Last things is prohibition that I told you, no, you can't do that. We can use must not or can't. And absence of obligation, that means it's not necessary. It's not necessary, needn't or don't have to or don't need to, and their usage. Okay, this is a practice for modal verb. This is a practice for modal verb. Please choose the best answer or the best modal verb after I finish the class, but I will give you this, I will give you the answer of the questions, and you can make pausing for the video and answer your question and then revise your answer. Here we can use may, okay, and they should, they might make their reservation soon, they should. I have given, okay, you should, you need to go to the dentist. I think it's should, because bad toothache. You must not, don't have to wear a suit and tie. That's what? The dinner party is not formal. You don't have. It's absence of obligation. I can't see the floor anymore. You really ought to, might clean this room. Ought to, that means obligation also. Could, should you please turn down the volume? I am trying to, okay. This is polite order. You must not, need not use your mobile phone during the examination. This is prohibition. I ought to, I had to go to the bank yesterday. I think it's in the past. I was sitting, speaking, and I couldn't hear him very well. I couldn't. That means the absence of ability. You had better not. You don't have to wake up late again or you will lose your job. Wow, this is strong obligation. Okay? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope all of you be in a good health condition. And again, please, all of you guys, avoid the communities, avoid malls, avoid everywhere. Just stay at home and wash your hand and take care of yourself. See you inshallah tomorrow. Goodbye.